Hi everyone, I'm Terry.
And I'm Angel.
And happy Easter Sunday to those who celebrate Eastern, and to those who don't, happy Sunday. So we are here today to share with you some of my favorites, homemade gravy, homemade pasta, and pizza gain. So the whole food plant-based way. So I'm excited. And honey?
All right, perfect, thank you. So like Terry said, it is our Easter, and if you don't celebrate Easter, whatever you're celebrating today, or happy Sunday. So as growing up as a little girl, we always had homemade raviolis, homemade gravy, pizza gain was a huge one. I don't know if you're not Italian, it's really just pizza crust, if you will, with all kinds of Italian meats and cheeses. Mortadella, which I don't like because I don't really like Italian bologna, what I call it, but capicola and salami and provolone and mozzarella and all of those wonderful things all in this dough. And my aunt would bake it, and she made the best pizza gain I've ever had. So I said, how can I go Easter Sunday without pizza gain? So I have an idea, and we're going to share it with you guys. Terry doesn't even know, but in the meantime, before we make our pizza gain, we're going to make the gravy, and then later on we're going to make homemade pasta, because you just make the homemade pasta, cook it right away, and eat it. So we can do that later. All right, so let's make the gravy. This is very, very easy. I'm going to make a simple marinara. Traditionally, first thing I would put in here is olive oil, probably about that much. So at least 1,500, 2,000 calories worth. But in here, I'm going to put a little bit of water. Hold on one second, honey.
Okay.
Just a little bit of water, because I'm going to water saute, and I'm going to let it get warm. And in this one today, I'm going to put 2 cups of carrots. Sometimes I don't put carrots, sometimes I do. It just really depends on what I have on hand or what I feel like doing and all of that. So I'm going to saute 2 cups of carrots. I did measure that for you guys. It was actually 2 pretty large carrots. This is 2 cups of onions, which was actually 2 onions. So I'm going to saute 2 cups of onions and 2 cups of carrots together for a little while. We're going to let them get nice and soft and translucent.
Hi everybody, we're back.
And this is smelling so good. So as you can see, it's all sauteed down, looking good. It's not stuck. The water saute just really works well, but it's really cooked down, and the aroma is magnificent.
Smells so delicious.
Oh, so as you know, we love garlic, so I just took 2 bulbs of garlic today, and these are whole. I just make it easy. I don't even chop it up. Because I put the carrot in here, later on I'm going to use an immersion blender. So I'm going to put 2 whole bulbs of garlic in here. Boom, yum.
Garlic, onions, how could you go wrong?
Yeah, really.
The
Yummy,
aroma,
yummy.
it just smells so delicious.
Oh, absolutely, honey. So what we're going to do here, I don't like to cook the garlic for a long time because we don't want it to have that burnt flavor, but we're going to let this cook for maybe a minute because the cloves were whole. I'm going to talk to you about what I'm going to do after this. I do not squeeze tomatoes, so but I do use this, let's see, Tuttorosso crushed tomato with basil. I find this at BJ's. You can get this almost anywhere. It comes 6 in a pack, or you can get it at the local grocery store. They run it on sale a lot for maybe $1 or something like that. So I use this. I find this to be the best. You can use the crushed and the puree, but I've really sort of made my life a little bit easier over the years, and I just buy the crushed. Today I'm going to use 4 cans. There'll be plenty for what Terry and I are going to eat, and then we will also freeze some. So we'll have some when we want something later. So this will be absolutely delicious. So I'll use 4 cans of this, and we've sauteed our garlic a little bit. I think it can go just a little tiny bit longer, honey. And this morning, I haven't even opened these up yet, but I roasted some garlic and I roasted some onion. This might actually be the garlic. I don't know, but we'll open it up together. I put it in the oven like 400 And I use a convection oven, so that might be 425 for some of you. And I did shallots. Oh, wow. Because shallots are a little bit sweet. So this is going to be part of my pizza game that we're going to make together. So the roasted shallots. This is the same way I do roasted onions. I had Terry cut these in half. I put them in the aluminum foil and I wrapped it up like this and I put it right in the oven like that. Very simple. I do this with regular onions all the time. I cut them in half, I lay them like this, put them in the aluminum foil, put them in the oven.
How long do they cook for, honey?
Just 40 minutes, thank you for asking. I do it by my nose, but this morning I looked at the clock when I put it in and then I looked at it and I said, oh, okay, it's been 40 minutes.
Okay.
So it is about 40 or 45 minutes. I also did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 cloves of garlic. I roasted them because this is also going to go into our pizza game. But I will show you how I do it. Once you roast it, cut the tops off, not the hard ones, the tops that are kind of weird. Cut them off straight like this. Put them in the aluminum foil, just like I did. Wrap it up like this. In the oven on 400 or 425 if you don't have a convection, 40 minutes. And you're done. Your house will smell amazing. So, whoops, and here's the skin. So what you do is you just take the top and this squeezes right out. Oh, so wow. the little garlics come right out and they fall in. And I know you're like, Angel, are you really putting more garlic in there? And I am. But you know what? This garlic, when you roast it, is so darn sweet. So I put that whole clove in there, but that's not like having a raw clove. Honey, would you mind getting me a paper towel? Because I'm a little bit messy as I was giving an example.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So this is done, and as you see, and I wish you could smell.
I wish you could smell too. Oh my god.
I wish you could smell.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
But nothing is sticking. And if I thought it was sticking, I would just add a little bit more water. Just add water if you think you need it. But for this is just onions, carrots. Like I said, you don't have to use the carrots, but I thought, hey, what the heck? We'll do something different today. And garlic, and now roasted garlic too.
Lots of garlic.
Lots of garlic is delicious. So I'll just put these 4 cans of the crushed tomato with basil. I like the one with basil in here. And as you can see, it stopped simmering and sautéing. Then, honey, I'm going to add a little bit of water.
A little bit of water, okay.
To these. And swish it around because we don't want to miss out on any of this deliciousness.
Okay.
So I'll do that for all 4 cans. And then I want to incorporate my veggies. Oh, and while we were sauteing the onion and garlic, Terry did put some fresh black pepper on the onion. The onion and carrot. So just put a little bit of fresh cracked pepper to taste. And that's that. And so now this is all incorporated together.
Beautifully.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Like I said, I'm going to do all 4 of my cans with a little bit of water. What's a little bit? Let me see. That much. I don't know what a little bit is. And then I just swish it up on the sides and get it out. And then this makes a great spoon holder as you're stirring all day. Leave it on your counter. Yeah, that works out well. So we're going to do that. And I did pull some fresh basil off today, and I did count them. As funny as that sounds, but I wanted to tell you how many basil leaves I was using. This is 25. So, not too many. How about the smell? Fresh basil. Woo!
Nothing like it.
Like I told you on pizza night, kitchen shears, and we just cut it. In Italian, this is called basilica. And in English, this is called basil. And in any language, it's delicious.
Exactly.
So I just put it into here, cut it a little bit. Why not get some on the floor? It tastes better. And I will put a little bit of, whoopsie daisy.
Daisy.
of my dry basil. So I'll just put a little bit of dried basil. This isn't coming out fast enough for me. So can you open that, honey?
Sure. There you go.
It is essential to cook with the one that you love
so.
because it's amazing. My sweetheart is a doll. So if you put your dried stuff in your hand and you rub it, it helps all those oils come back, and it just gives it a special flavor. I mean, you could just dump it in, but just rub it in your hand a little bit and put it in there. It's just so good. See my helper? Thank you, honey.
You're welcome, baby.
So then I am going to put one final ingredient in here, and then it's got to cook. The whole point of this is it's got to cook. You could put anything in here. As long as you let it cook for several hours, it'll be delicious. I mean, it's kind of hard to go wrong.
All of the seasoning and spices and flavors and oh my gosh, can't wait.
Absolutely delicious.
Can't wait.
You're going to eat so good. So for this one, you might be surprised, but I have a little secret ingredient. And it is my very favorite low sodium vegetable, better than bouillon. I am going to put this in here as a secret ingredient. It will not taste like soup. It'll just add something. So I have a normal tablespoon like you would eat soup with, and I just kind of heaped it on there. So that's how much, I don't know. Write to me and tell me. So heaping soup spoon, tablespoon full of better than bouillon, mix it around, get it all nicey nice in there, and that is absolutely magnificent. So
magnificent.
What we're gonna do is, honey, if you can add the 2 more cans of water that I haven't done yet, this one and that one, thank you. And in the meantime, I'm gonna tell everybody that this morning I made pizza dough, and oh my goodness, look it!
Oh my God.
Okay, I made pizza dough this morning, and it was maybe this big, okay? And this is for my pizza game, and I just took, oh my goodness, this happened so fast. This is so awesome. Oh, it smells, just smells like a pizza place or something. Yummy! So what I use today for this, because it is a special occasion and we do want to have our pizza game. So this is a 2.2 pound bag of the Anna Neapolitan unbleached 000, or this is actually 00 flour. And the only ingredients is soft wheat flour, double ground. That's it. Double ground flour is really, really great for, but as you can see, it was just a little tiny bag. So I use this. I used 2.5 cups of warm water, and I used 1 whole packet of yeast. You could put 1 teaspoon of salt if you want, but I put a little bit less because I don't like to give Terry too much salt. So, and then I put the plastic wrap over this so it doesn't get crusty on the top.
Can't
so
believe
that's why you see.
Wow.
But this is huge.
Can't believe that.
So what we're gonna do is get ready to roll this out and show you how we're gonna make our awesome reinvented pizza game. So here we go.
Hi everyone, we're back.
And we rolled out some of the pizza crust for our pizza game. So what I did is that huge thing of pizza, we're still talking about it. That was so cool. We cut it in half, and I rolled out half, and I just put it in the bottom of a 9 by 11 baking dish. And so it looks pretty good. No oil, and as you can see, the crust comes right up. So you don't have to worry about that.
It smells so good. And can I just stop a minute?
Yes.
The gravy. Oh my gosh. The aroma. It just smells so good.
Like,
so good.
It takes you, it's nostalgic.
It is. And this is our first like whole food plant-based Easter. So it's kind of cool.
It is very cool. So if you are worried about this sticking, you could put a little cornmeal on the bottom or something, but I wouldn't worry about stuff like
I think you'll be fine.
So what I did is I had the second piece of dough over here, and I just roll it out, little tiny bit of flour on the counter. I rolled this one out in a square. It's perfect, and I'm gonna put it on the top when we're all done. So what I'd like to do is start with the roasted garlic.
Okay.
So this is brand new, guys. So we're gonna start with and honey, if you would just squeeze them in here like I did earlier. And what I thought I would do is put the roasted garlic in the crust of this. Are we okay?
Let's see.
Let's see how we do
Coming
here.
out a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit there. Let's see.
Well, here, let's try this one here. Let's try this.
Okay.
So here's the roasted garlic. We'll put it in there like that. Because like I said earlier, roasted garlic is not pungent. It's just kind of sweet, and it just gives a taste almost like when you're eating garlic bread, like that kind of taste. Not really overpowering or anything like that. Just delicious. And roasted garlic, if you didn't know, roasted garlic wards off a lot of disease. Roasted garlic is really, really good for dementia, and you know, it fights off some really bad diseases like some cancers. And not roasted garlic in general. Garlic in general is just incredible for you, and I was just about to put more because I'm the garlic queen, but I think we have enough. So we have this roasted garlic in here, and when you have it roasted like this, you can just spread it. We got a couple skins, but that's okay.
That's all right. It's all good.
Yep. And you can just spread this garlic out onto your dough. It's like a paste. I'm hopeful.
This is kind of our base.
This will be our base. Yes, absolutely. You know what? I would squeeze
A little bit more?
because you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with garlic as your base?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You just can't.
I can't go wrong with garlic as your
base. A little
base.
bit more.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
I have a
Thank you.
paper towel here for you if you need it.
Yeah, I'm getting real messy here. So I would put what I'm doing, and like I said, this is the first time Terry and I are making this. And normally you would put a layer of cheese in here, so you could people start with cheese on top of their crust. So maybe this would be provolone. So instead of provolone, we'll put a little garlic spread on the bottom here. And then they would start layering the cheeses like a lasagna. And you would just do that. Terry and I learned when we were in Italy that they call everything lasagna, like if it's ancient and it's got all these years of rocks and stuff, they call that lasagna. So because it's just years worth of, it used to be here and now it's here. Yeah, so everything's called lasagna in Italy. It was very cool. So there is my garlic roasted.
Base. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so let's put a layer of what I used to love, capicola. But we're gonna put, what I did is I took some zucchini, green zucchini, and I put it, I just cut it into these strips and I roasted it in the oven. I used a little bit of the white caramelized onion, balsamic vinegar, and a little garlic powder and onion powder. That's it, because I wanted it to be kind of basic because I knew I was gonna have a lot of flavors going on in here. So I wanted it to, but it still needs to have flavor.
Right.
So this is a layer, just like the lasagna. Delicious. Thank you, honey. Thank you, thank you. And then what we will do is we will put a layer of onion, the roasted onion that we did earlier. That will be amazing. We'll just put one on the side here. So we have our layer of zucchini. And then I showed you earlier that we have roasted these shallots. Shallots are really, really, really sweet compared to like a regular onion, even sweeter than a Vidalia onion. So I just thought we would just layer some shallot in here. Just have at it, honey, wherever you want to put it.
All right.
There's no right way to do this. That's the beautiful thing about building something like this. You do it your way.
With all of these delicious veggies, I mean, I don't see how you can go wrong.
I don't either.
Shallots and garlic and zucchini. Come on.
It's gonna be, and these the only thing I feel bad about this channel is that you can't smell.
Oh yes.
I wish you could smell, or because it's like one of the senses that Terry and I are experiencing is just our sense of smell and how wonderful these roasted veggies. Smell right here is perfect spot.
Okay,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Awesome.
So then what I also did, just to be different, is I roasted some fresh spinach right next to my zucchini. And I did it the same way. I just did garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of the white balsamic caramelized onion. And I just did it the same exact way. It's not pretty. It doesn't have to be pretty because we are going to cover this. But
That's right.
I'm not looking for pretty. I'm looking for yummy.
Tasty. Exactly.
Tasty. Yummy, yummy. So we'll put a little bit of that. And now, my favorite. I love roasted peppers. You can get the roasted peppers in water in red and yellow. So we're going to use both.
Remember, in water, because you can also get roasted red peppers in oil. So you just want to make sure that you're getting it in the water. That's what's going to be healthy for you.
Look at this pepper. It's whole.
Wow.
It's whole.
Wow.
So what I'm going to do is just rip it open. You gotta get into your food.
And I'm sorry, we're cheating you guys. The smells are unbelievable.
I know.
They're unbelievable. I'm sitting here watching Angel bring out, these peppers, and I'm thinking, oh my God, it smells so good. And that's just coming out of the jar. It hasn't even cooked yet. So
look
sorry,
at
you guys,
peppers.
getting a little cheated there, but
like,
oh my goodness.
This is just crazy and just delicious. So we'll just spread the roasted peppers. I think just one more. What do you think, honey?
Absolutely, one more. Let me get you a napkin.
And I'm gonna put that there. No, actually, I need more. Hey, it's never enough, guys. Come on. And then I'm not gonna waste the zucchini. I'm gonna layer it on top.
Okay, cool.
Honey, so let's get in that zucchini.
Cool.
Finish it up. So that's our
Okay.
layer of red and yellow peppers. And then we'll just scatter the zucchini. Here, I'll
Another
take
layer
a
of
bunch.
zucchini. Okay.
We'll scatter the zucchini on the top.
Okay.
Oh, wow. That's perfect. You would have think I would have measured it. That was actually 2 whole zucchinis this morning.
That was perfect.
Then I have about 12 leaves of fresh basil here. I'm just gonna lay those on the top sporadically. Use as much as you want or as little as you want, or don't use it, because all these recipes are like this. Terry loves, thank you, sweetheart.
Sure.
Terry loves a little oregano.
I love oregano seasoning.
Organic oregano. Sorry, Meg, I know you don't love oregano, but Terry does. And so if I were making this for Meg, I would not put the oregano, but for this one I will. And like I said, if you put it in your hand, it helps to rejuvenate those oils in the...
I can tell right here, this is going to be a hit.
This
is going to be a hit.
is unbelievable. So
I can't wait to taste test it for you guys the first time.
that's what that looks like.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is gorgeous. I will take my top crust and put it on top. And I didn't measure it, but for some reason, I'm lucky today and it's fitting.
Perfectly.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna join the top with the bottom, and then I'm just gonna cross it over, and then it's all gonna be just inside of this big piece of yummy.
You make that look so easy, babe.
I do.
Oh my God.
I'm making a darn mess of
You
it.
make it look so easy.
I'm making a mess. Well, see, Terry is my biggest cheerleader.
It's the truth.
He's my BFF, people. He's my BFF. So you just lift up the bottom and just get them connected so that everything, it doesn't have to be pretty. It has to taste good. That's a must.
But it's like a big pocket
It's like a big, gigantic.
with all this deliciousness inside.
So, and it's a super treat to have all this pizza crust. And that is just going to be divine. I have my oven on 350 degrees because I have a convection oven, or 375 rather, because I have a convection oven. If I were baking this in a non-convection oven, I would bake this at 400. And I'm gonna try this for 30 minutes and then I'm gonna check it. And if I think it needs more, then I will go back and I will add more. If I think it needs less, then I will be in trouble.
Look at this.
So
Look at
here's
this.
what this looks like. Oh my goodness!
Oh my God.
So we're gonna put this, how about it? we're gonna put this in the oven and I'm not gonna poke it. You can poke it if you don't want it to bubble up, but our family loves the bubbles. So we're gonna go with the bubbles. But if you don't, just fork this a little bit. It'll be fine. I'm gonna put, this smells so Italian.
Yeah, it does.
30 minutes in the oven. So we're gonna try it with you guys. Stay tuned.
Hi everybody, we're back and our pizza gain is ready.
Yay, okay, so we just took it out of the oven. The 375 convection for 30 minutes was perfect. So I just I was winging it. So here's what it looks like.
Oh my God, look at that.
And I want you to know that this is moving and I didn't use any oil. So again, you don't need oil. So what I'm gonna do, this is very hot. I'm gonna turn it out here on my little cutting board and see if I can't cut it because it seems to be moving pretty darn good. So I wanna just see if I can lift this hot baby out of here.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Look at that. Wow, I can lift weights.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh my God.
So there it is. That is beautiful. No oil. None. Look at this. Look at this. No stick. So very nice. Okay, so I am going to try to cut this with the scissors. If it doesn't work, we'll acquiesce to the pizza cutter, okay?
Right.
So I'll go from this side. Oh, it's a little bit warm. And the scissors work amazing. As I suspected. Wow, I can smell those peppers as I'm cutting this open. Oh my goodness.
Wow, look at that.
Oh.
I wish you could just smell the aroma and the
What's that?
all the spices and wow, look at that. Wow.
Do you see it smoking? Yeah, right, I'll take that one because I like ends.
Okay.
And I will give you
A little of a center cut?
Yeah, because I know you like the center.
Okay.
Maybe, well, I just want to make sure I get the bottom crust too, and I am, I think.
Okay.
Well, we'll know if it comes out in one piece.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Look
Oh,
at that.
we got the bottom.
So look at that.
Wow.
Is that incredible? I mean, wow.
Delicious.
Okay.
All right.
All right. The
moment
big
of truth.
revealing. Terry, we're going to have to eat all that.
I know.
So on Easter Sunday in Italian household, the pizza gain is part of the appetizer or whatever. So we're going to enjoy some of this pizza gain with some big salads. And then when we're done, we're going to start to make our homemade pasta and get ready to eat our dinner. So
Absolutely.
let's try this. I am stoked.
Be careful, it's hot.
Salud.
Okay, salute.
Mm.
Mmm.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, wow.
So delicious, so good.
It's so...
The pepper and the zucchini.
Mm-hmm.
And you have the garlic as the base.
Mm.
And the crust is so fluffy and light. It's almost like you're just eating.
Look at it.
It's almost like you're not even eating bread.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Hot.
So
Okay.
good.
Mmm. That's delicious, honey. Thank you for helping me.
Excellent.
See, you don't need cheese. You don't need meat. This is incredible. It's a huge treat because we are eating the pizza crust. But again, the pizza crust was just the wheat flour or the 00 brown, but it's still called wheat flour. It's, it's unbleached. Water, yeast, and just a little bit of salt. I do not add oil to that. We didn't add any oil to the veggies. Everything was roasted beautifully, and we put it in here. And this crust is just cooked perfectly. I am in crust heaven.
Well, I'm so glad we can share this with you guys. Oh my God, I can't wait for you to try it. Oh my God, I can. I can't wait for you guys to try it, make it, and give us some comments and send us some emails and let us know what you think.
Yummy.
This is awesome. Hey, we'll be
We're
back.
gonna go eat. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey guys, we just had to come back and show you the inside of this pizza gain. Oh my God. it's
Unbelievable. And we ate like hogs, and we did end up dipping some of the crust into our homemade gravy.
So good. So good.
So I was getting ready to cut another piece for us because it's just so good. And I looked in here and I said, honey, we have to show how beautiful this is on the inside.
Isn't that delicious?
That's
Look at all the different layers of deliciousness.
Oh my gosh. We did, like I said, we dipped it in a little bit of our homemade gravy, and it's just, I could not go without showing you this. So anyway, we're going to go back and eat more. We'll see you soon.
Okay, take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye. Hi, everybody. We're back. We are finished with our pizza again, and oh my God, it was so delicious.
I did add some sweet peppers to mine out of the fridge. Like, we dipped in the gravy. Even though we haven't ground the gravy up yet with the immersion blender, we did dip some out. It was really good to dip the crust in there.
Absolutely.
And I added a little bit of sweet peppers. And I like tang, but it was so
delicious.
good.
So now we're on to our homemade pasta. We're gonna immersion blender the gravy.
Yes.
We're gonna pop in our Brussels sprouts and just kind of bring this thing home.
Yes, this is so great. Thank you, honey. So Terry we had some big Brussels sprouts, and he cut them into quarters. So you can kind of see, he just quartered them. It's no big deal. He cut them in half, and he cut them in half again. And then we get a whole bunch of these little pieces that fall off, and they're going to be really crispy in the oven. So I have my oven on convection 400. I'm just going to pop it in here. The only thing that I put on these Brussels sprouts is I have a red apple balsamic that I buy. You could use anything. You know what I think would be delicious on this? A fig balsamic.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think that would be so good. You could use a regular balsamic. You could use a white balsamic. You could use a peach. I don't know. But the smell of the red apple and all of that, I just thought it would be delicious. So we put this on a parchment lined paper, and that's all it has on it is the balsamic. So 400 convection, which is probably 425 for anybody else.
And for how long, honey?
Till I smell them. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes.
10 or 15 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
10 or 15 minutes. So in the meantime, we are going to, our gravy has been cooking all day for hours, and it is just smelling
delicious.
And like I said, we skimmed some off the top earlier. When I simmer my gravy all day, I do put it on the burner that has the least wattage because it boils too much and it wants to burn. And I always put it on one of these diffusers. This was my grandmother's. It's older than dirt, but it works really well. Don't ever touch it when it's hot. I have another one under here that's really old, but I have a couple, and I wanted to say I usually do that if I do cook this all day, just so it doesn't burn, because you don't want it to burn. So we are going to take all of our luscious garlic and everything that we had in here, and we are going to immersion blend them. Okay, this is just about a perfect marinara. That really made the aroma come out, didn't it?
Oh my gosh.
That was
onions and
garlic and fresh
and
basil, and so now you can see it's like a smooth.
And carrots too. I forgot to put carrots.
The
in
carrots.
Yeah.
It's like a smooth marinara. So it's not, but it's kind of thick and whatever. If you wanted this to be a bolognese, if you will, with meat, put red lentils in here. Red lentils cook quicker than any other lentil, and they're meaty. Sometimes I make a bolognese for Terry and I. We put it over rigatoni or something, and I use the red lentils as the bolognese or meat. So we love lentils, but this is absolutely beautiful. So, all right. So let's put our lid back on here and let that go, because we have our water boiling for our fresh pasta.
Okay.
What I did is we decided today that we were going to make a spinach pasta. So we made fettuccine, and this was so easy. Again, I used my scale when I weighed, because the flours actually weigh different. So if I tell you to put a cup of this and a cup of that, you're going to have different weights of flours. Because I use like half semolina because it's a pasta flour, but semolina is much heavier than some of the other flours that you have. So I used 150 grams of semolina and 150 grams of spelt flour in this. You can use whatever flour you want. You don't have to use semolina, you don't have to use spelt, use whatever you want. Then I used, let's call it 3 or 4 ounces of fresh spinach, and I used 3/4 of a cup of water. I put that on the stove, I let it boil and saute or just boil and get the spinach nice and wilted. It took a minute or two. I put it in my little blender and blended it up. It looked like a smooth frog or something. And I dumped it in my flour. I put it in my bowl in my KitchenAid and I let it knead itself for 3 to 5 minutes. Then I let it rest for 5 minutes and then you make it. And this is what we decided to make today was fettuccine. And we just do them in little pieces and they come out like this. So we're gonna show you how we do the fettuccine on here. However, you don't need this apparatus. You can either use, I also have a crank pasta maker. We do this. You could also use your rolling pin and roll it out and want a nifty little knife and cut the pasta any size you want. I also have a wooden roller that makes pappardelle. See, it's a roller about this long. You just roll it over the pasta and then you have a bunch of pappardelle. You don't have to make pasta in this. You can use anything you know that you have. If you don't have a rolling pin, use a glass and use a knife. Fresh pasta is so easy. People go crazy over fresh pasta. Angel, you make fresh pasta? Yeah, because it's so easy. Right. So it's just not that big.
All right, let's show them how we do it.
All right, so here's what we do. I try to make this ball even all the way around so that the pasta is kind of even. So this was a little bit longer because I already made some, but you need to put the semolina flour or whatever you're using on top. Terry and I'm gonna take maybe a 1/2 inch piece of this dough and I'm going to just dip it right into the semolina flour. Again, whatever flour you're using, it just doesn't matter, but you don't want it sticking when you're trying to roll it or whatever you're doing. So our first step here is going to be to roll this pasta flat. So I have it here about right. I mean, nobody has their protractor out here. We're not measuring, but we're going to roll that. And this is my rolling pin part. And we do it like this.
There's different settings on this, and we have this on a 1.
Yep. Thank you, honey, for that. So what we do, and then while Terry changes that out for the fettuccine, I'm gonna put a little bit more semolina on here just to make sure when it comes out that I have pasta because it will stick. And I mean, we don't want it to stick, right?
Right, exactly.
So I have it like this. You can kind of see the flour on here. And then we're just gonna send it through and voila, we have our fettuccine.
See?
It's just that simple. And I mean, this has 2 kinds of flour, spinach and water. And I did put just a touch of salt. You could put up to a teaspoon of salt in yours, but you don't have to. So then we have the pasta like this. I put it over here and then I just pull it apart. See? The pasta's beautiful.
Wow. Look at that.
Then what we'll do is we'll take this portion that we have here, you pull it apart, and as you're making all your pasta, let's say we were done and this is our last batch, we obviously have more, you lay it on the semolina or whatever flour you're using in little nests, but pull it apart first, otherwise it'll stick. Then once you have it apart, just put it in your little nest, like I have here, and then you'll be good to go. Because here's the first nest that I made, and you can see
comes right apart.
How the pasta is just coming right apart. So what I'm going to do is dump these 3 batches of pasta. We have at least probably 3 or 4 batches to go. You can make as much as you need for your family. This is way more than Terry and I could eat if our life depended on it. But we're just trying to show you what we're doing.
And we'll have plenty of
leftovers
for tomorrow and the next day.
I'm going to boil this for 3 to 4 minutes. It doesn't take that long.
Okay.
I do not put salt or oil in my water. I just boil it and I drop it in. And it's good to go. I can smell those Brussels sprouts already.
Yep. Crank this up a bit.
Okay, crank up my heat. Give me a little thing, honey, to turn this, maybe tongs.
Okay. Tongs here.
Thank you.
Yep.
And we'll just set our timer.
Oops.
Here,
Okay, gotcha.
we'll set our timer for, well, I'm gonna go with 3 minutes because I've had this in here for a minute. And it's just gonna cook away.
Hi everyone, we're back. The pasta is ready.
So we couldn't wait, we need to try it. And what I do, I don't use a colander for this in the sink because you do it in batches and you don't want to have to keep making new water, new water, new water. So I just use some kind of slotted spoon. I happen to have this from my ravioli making days and all of that. So I'm just gonna dip this big thing in here and dip the pasta out.
Can I help you, honey?
And no, I want you to try the gravy.
Okay, okay, all right.
We haven't tasted the gravy yet. And that's part of the tradition. You have to taste the gravy.
Absolutely.
And if you have a piece of bread, you can always dip it in there. I know you don't, but.
This might be a bit too sweet. Get something smaller.
Okay, you can taste. Thank you.
All right. Let me taste the gravy. Let me taste the gravy here. All right.
Whoops. Oh well. Go ahead, honey.
Okay.
Wow, this looks so good. I love homemade pasta. And we know what's in it. Just the spelt flour and the semolina, the spinach. That looks
This
so...
is delicious. Oh my God, this is so good.
You know what it looks like a little bit from the carrots? It looks a little bit like a vodka sauce.
You're right, it does. It does. This is so good. You got to taste, honey. You've got to taste.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to try it. Look at this pot. So those 3 things of pasta that Terry and I made, that's what we got out of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm dying to taste
You gotta
this.
taste
Let me
it.
see. Woo!
Isn't it good?
That is delicious!
You gotta-
Write that recipe
You have to
down.
make it like this.
Wow,
every time.
wow, wow.
You gotta
Oh
make it
my
like that every time.
gosh. Oh, wow. That was just... So our Brussels sprouts are done. They actually finished pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what quickly is, 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, about 10 minutes. About 10 minutes or so.
But they look incredible. Whoops. And I'm gonna put a little bit tomato on here. Look at that red gravy. Look at this.
Oh my God, look at that plate. Look at that
Okay,
plate.
so honey,
There you go.
let's do
Let's
this.
dig in.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I love homemade pasta. Have I said that? Probably 10 times. But can you do it?
I got it.
You want me to hold it?
Nope, I got you.
Terry. Terry, you're so good.
So good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, honey. Oh my God, this is so good.
Oh my
Homemade
goodness.
pasta, gravy. We check out the Brussels sprouts.
I used to make the pasta.
Wow.
I used to make the pasta with eggs. I always made egg pasta homemade. Wow.
This is hands down the best.
Oh, those Brussels are so good.
Hands down the best.
This pasta.
And it's so light.
It's so
It's so
incredible.
light. It's incredible. It's so light.
Oh, I want to have this tomorrow again.
You guys have got to try this. You've got to try this. Angel will post the recipe. You've got to try it. This is unbelievable.
Wow. What a day.
What a
It
day.
has been so great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, guys.
This is amazing.
Absolutely.
Make these recipes.
Absolutely.
You will be happy.
Happy Easter and whatever other Sunday you guys
Yep.
are celebrating.
Happy
we love
Sunday.
you.
Love
And,
you.
we love you guys. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.